Ooh. You know, I was in those streets again. Now today I want to show how to get the coconut water out of the coconut because somebody asked me. And I was like, I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. So we're gonna do it today. I'm gonna show you. I don't know why I can't find my huh. Can't find my other called glass, so I'm gonna have to buy some glasses. Yeah, I don't like those. Hola, hola, feliz lunes. You know, I've been out there doing my shenanigans again. All right, so let's show the people how to get the coconut water. So I'm using Michelle today, and Michelle seems to be following me around. She's nicely charged. How are you guys? Okay, so I'm gonna show you how, put it down, you can get the water out. You see, this is what I don't like about Michelle. When she gets her mind, it's over here, Michelle. Okay? So, I have my plate. Yeah. She does that, and she cuts off. Good afternoon. All right, I'm gonna stop Michelle. Okay. How are you guys doing? I left here about 11:30. It's like 3:40. Oh, it's not that bad. I ran some errands. I got a manicure. My nails were very long. And as I was cooking, I was like, no, I need to do something. And then when I'm on the computer, I see people with the claws with the computer. I don't know how they do it. All right. So let's show you how you can get the water out of your coconut, because I don't buy coconut water in a bottle. Not anymore. All right. So I still had a coconut from, when did I order? 2 weeks ago? Yeah. So I have not had anything to eat today, and it's almost 4. No coffee, so I need to hydrate. So I was going, thank you, aren't they pretty? And I always like to have that one with the yellow. I don't know who started that trend. You know how that is. And as I said, when you get the coconut, you're usually gonna see 3 dark areas that you think you can puncture to get it. But the one that has a little thing, it's like something is germinating, that's the one you're gonna go for. See, I popped it, right? It's like a big pimple. I started using the wine cork, which I can still do. You see, I'm doing that. And then I just bring it out, because when you do that, you're taking away some of the pulp and you're opening the hole, right? So, you see that? Yes. Let me get a knife. We had a little reprieve with the humidity. Today it is back with the vengeance. It is humid out there. So I'm going to clean that up, and then I go in the hole just to try to make it a little bit bigger. The other thing you can do, if you have a meat thermometer, you can just go in there and try to get some of that pulp away, so your hole can get bigger and your water can flow a lot easier. See, it's not that hard. And then you put it, and then you kind of play with it and watch it come out. You got the strainer, right? And someone mentioned using a hammer. I have a hammer, but it's like a wannabe hammer. It's not heavy. So I don't think it's gonna work. But when I take this and I put it in a plastic bag and with force, I just slam it on the floor. I have tile on the patio. That works. That works. You see, this is how I get my and sometimes you have to shake it to give it a little, to help it along a little bit. All right. So you don't need to be buying coconut water from a bottle, because you know they got to put stuff in there for it to preserve it. And anything they put in there as preservative, it's not something you want to put in your body. No, sis. That is how you get your coconut water. And I'm going to use that to make a smoothie, because when I come in, that's what I want. I want a smoothie. To me, that cools me off much better than just plain water. And again, because I didn't eat, I can add the little nutrient. But today I don't want it to be green. I bought a papaya, so I'm going to do a papaya smoothie with coconut milk, and I'll put moringa, but I'm not putting spirulina today. Almost done. That was a lot. As I said, these coconuts that I get from the lady, they are huge. Wow. Okay, now it's ready. All right, so I will just slam it to the ground. Now this bag that I have, whoo, it's hot. I think I turned the AC on. It's got a hole in it, so I can't use it. So I'm gonna find another one. You know, when I get off the metro, I can get 2 of these little bags, the packs for $1. 12 bags, so I get 24 bags for $1. Not bad. Oh, but I'll tell you about my saga. I was looking for that body wash because I'm almost out, and the one that I have, it says oatmeal on it, right? So I bought it thinking I'm gonna get a nice creamy, hi Harlem Minded, nice creamy, wash. No, it was like, it looked like a big blob of, it's just a clear blob. Doesn't even lather. The struggle is real. But I don't have the heart to ask anyone to bring me a Dove, because I don't want it to, you know how they throw your bags, it's gonna explode in your luggage. No, I don't want to ask anybody. So I'm putting my coconut in this bag. I don't know why. I don't want to slam it inside the house, but I'll do it on the patio. I just take it like this and go, pow! And usually I have to bring it back and kind of rinse it under the water because particles of something might have gone in there. Okay, so this is this much water that I have, coconut water. Really nice. So remember, I have pineapple water, so I'm going to use a little bit of coconut water, and I'm going to save the rest because it is so, I don't know, there's something about coconut water that is unique. So, coconut milk. This is my pineapple water. I always have pineapple water because whenever I cut a pineapple, and so now I'm sticking to this, so I won't put that in the marinara again. I did. I remember when I had the cafe, everything had to be measured when you're making a smoothie. Yeah, And then we used to get dehydrated spinach, dehydrated kale, and you could put, I'm gonna put a little bit of cilantro. You could put cilantro. You could put parsley. You could put cucumber. Yes, so I'm putting a little bit of that coconut milk in here. Yes. This is left over from the party on Friday. All right. And we're gonna do cinnamon. No honey. I don't need any sweetener. See? Paprika. It looks like the cinnamon. Oh my God. I need to move this paprika. Because I did put the paprika in my smoothie, one of my smoothies. You bought coconut yesterday and enjoyed the water. You made milk. Wonderful. And oil. Nice. Wow. Very industrious. All right. Remember, cinnamon is good for you, so don't be shy. Okay? I love cinnamon. I grew up with it. And I like a little vanilla, pure extract. I don't buy the imitation thing, okay? Again, when you tell me imitation vanilla, what is it? Even though I don't trust everything I see in the food realm. When they tell me that's what's in it, and I'm like, well, I'll take it by faith because I don't know. I don't trust any of these folks. I do not trust the CDC and all of them, Food and Drug. All right, let's put the ice in. This is what is going to cool me off, the ice. And I'm getting some lemon. I have apples that have been sitting here. 2 apples. Whew. Oh my God, that salmon yesterday was the bomb. So I kind of ate the salmon, and I'm like, okay, now you're gonna have all that poke bowl. I ate the other plate, but the poke bowl is still in the fridge. So it's like, what are you gonna put on it? So maybe I'm gonna get some sardines, you know, some kind of protein. I love sardine. I haven't had them in a few weeks now. So when I put lime or lemon in my smoothie, I squeeze it and then I put the skin. A lot of vitamins and good stuff is found in the skin. So when you just use the juice, you're missing out. Okay? So we're squeezing some lime in my smoothie. Oh, and I also like to put apple cider vinegar in my smoothie because remember, it's just so vile. It's hard for me to put it in water and enjoy it because it's like, ugh. All right. Now this, I'm gonna have to run this smoothie twice so this skin can, otherwise you can taste bits of it, right? Yeah. I washed my hands when I got here, so relax. Ooh. But just like you put, I like to put, you know, lemon, lime, and everything. My water, my tea, you name it. So we got that. And apple cider vinegar. Put a little bit in. And then we come over here where I have my powders, my protein, my moringa, chia seeds, and the rest of it, right? Okay. Whew. Are we right there? Okay. And I had to bleach this last night. So I cooked yesterday, and I really did not clean up or do the dishes till later. It was late at night. Oh, I was watching the soccer game. I told you Panama Panama played Brazil and they whipped our you know what. It was sad. It was sad. 6-2. 6-2. I was embarrassed, but I'm like, what were you thinking? You making Panama is not like that in soccer, okay? Maybe boxing, we had a boxing champion, but no bueno. So these kids, how do you take your sardines? I just usually take them out and just put it on top in a salad or something. I see people mash them and make all kinds of, I don't do that. I usually eat them whole, put them over a salad. So this is my plant protein that I got at Reba Smith. And I usually go with half a scoop. I don't usually need a whole scoop, right? So I'm not doing spirulina today, but I am doing moringa powder. I had 2 water jugs and they was getting on my nerves. The straw was getting caught and I'm like, So I got rid of it and I got this cute little cup, but it doesn't hold a lot. So, if you're trying to dehydrate it, this is not it. But there is another huge thing that I have. Do you hate throwing away jars? Look how pretty this thing is. I hate to throw it away. But I have to be careful or I'm going to become a bag lady or a cup lady. This is a water bottle, right? But it doesn't have a straw. So that doesn't work. All right, so we're putting flaxseed, which I always do in my smoothies, and chia seeds. And they have the chia seed right next to the quinoa. And a couple of occasions, I reached out for quinoa and came home with more chia seeds. I'm like, okay. All right, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. And now I have to do my fruit. So next week, I want to go to Price Mart, which is like the Costco of Panama, and I have a papaya, so I'm going to use some papaya. And I want to get a bag of frozen berries. I haven't had berries in a while. Yeah, so. But it was $1. I can't complain. But this is my favorite fruit, and mango, right? And I also got some mango today, but I always eat them so fast. I have like a 3/4 of an avocado. I used some yesterday, but I can't put avocado in my smoothies. So papaya is my only, I break down and do that, but I don't like mushed anything. Pineapple, I prefer to just cube them and eat them whole. Just like I prefer to eat beets roasted than put it in a juice. It's just me. When they say you put that with spinach and lemon and they make a drink, I'm like, I eat that on a regular. So I don't need to do juicing. I'm not a juicing fan. I am not. You're never gonna see me here saying I'm juicing. All right, so I peel and I'm gonna put some papaya. And that's what's gonna give it the thickness that I need, right? I absolutely adore papaya. When I was in South Africa, they were growing wild. Everybody's garden had like multiple papaya trees. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be good. But the rest of the stuff, the papaya couldn't make up for it. Having to use the outhouse and stuff, I couldn't do it. Whew. I was so stressed out. Between that and the mega spiders on the wall in the bed, well, where I was in the bedroom where I was. I said, Jesus, I'm gonna have a stroke. That's why I'm not there anymore. I couldn't do it. Alrighty, so we're going to, I think we have everything we need in here. So we're gonna, yep, these two things have to line up. Whew. We're gonna run it twice, so it's gonna be nice and creamy. Smooth. It's not looking like papaya because the moringa took over. Need to do it twice. I wanted to do it twice because of the line rings, but let's see. Yeah, I think it's all right. You know, I'm kind of prejudiced against this blender, the Ninja. I'm not impressed with it. Somebody said, what's the other one? I think there's another one somebody else said that works better. Nutri Bullet on one of them. Yeah. But and so pretty much I did it again. I always do it exactly. Good. That's how I cool off. When I come in, I make it count, whatever I'm taking. Meal replacement, right? Okay. So, all right, so I have a papaya. So I'll finish peeling it and then put it in a container, put it in the fridge. But anyway, I decided to go to the store. I don't know if you heard me say I'm going to a store called Discovery Center. Discovery Center is, it's like a big Lowe's, Walmart rolled into one. Not quite Walmart, they don't have jewelry and stuff like that, but they do have some clothing. They have a huge, and this is in Panama City now. I don't know if they have them other places in Panama. But it's got a huge home improvement section. You know, if you need anything, you know, electrical, plumbing, all kind of stuff. So people who own homes and want to do something, repair, that's where you go, right? Because the other stores that we have that kind of could be home improvement is Do It Center and Nove, but they are smaller. They're not big at all. So that we all know that. But Discovery is not a place that a lot of expats go, right? Because it's a little bit out of the way. What area? I think it's that would be North Panama, Alta Plaza area. But you know, I was able to take a bus 2 stops from my house. I walk, take one bus to Cinco de Mayo, which is the second largest transportation hub after Albrook. No, I think maybe it's the third. San Miguelito is much bigger. San Miguelito is the second. Cinco de Mayo is the third largest. And this is so good. I love smoothies. And you know, I still have all the recipes of the smoothies we did at the cafe when I owned the cafe. The most popular one was called Skin Tonic. I can make the skin tonic. We have the protein. Oh, I forgot to put some green in there. I was gonna put some cilantro. But when we were doing smoothies, I kind of partnered with a company, I think out of Wisconsin, and then they would deliver the base, and the mango base was the one that was the most popular. But it had an insane amount of sugar. Now that I know, because when I went back to see if I could get it, I couldn't, when I was in the States, I could not get it from that company, but Walmart had it. And I saw the amount of sugar and I was like, oh my God, that's why it tasted that good. So, took a bus from my house to Cinco de Mayo, and then another bus, and there is a main artery here, one of them, called J. Alfaro. And then that's where immigration office is and lots of bus routes. So what you do, you just get your phone and you go to Google Maps, and then you say where you're going, and then you say, do you want drive? You know how it is. Do you want the bus or do you want to walk? And then it tells you which bus, where the nearest station is, how long you walk to get to it, blah, blah, blah. So it's easy. So I got there, and I had my list. So I was looking for more anti-moisture. The damp red. The damp red there, 3 of them was gonna cost me $22. Whereas at Super 99, they were gonna be $17. But this time, I did not notice them last time. They had a lot of them there. And then I saw this one, it's a 3-pack. It's the same thing for, was it $18? So I said, I'm gonna try these because all 3 of mine that I have in the house, they're ready to be exchanged because the humidity is so high. Oh my gosh. You're having to drain the water out of the, let's see what it looks like. And this humidity, you can't play with it here. You cannot play with it. And you better be alert. I had someone send me an email yesterday. He said he did the thing that I said, and he said he found a product on Amazon. I forgot what he tells me it was. And I said, oh yeah, I said, I'd love to. That's the same thing. Same thing as damp red. You know, it's like you buying thing, you're paying for the name. So I'm okay, I'm just gonna hang these. So I got 3. I'm gonna get rid of mine and just replace. So every 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna have to replace. Because those other ones, they kind of filled up in about a week. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I got that, but the thing that I really wanted the most was the Dove shower gel. That didn't happen. So when I go, I'm like, Dove. So I walk to the aisle, and then it's like Dove sensitive lotion, body lotion. They have the body lotion, but not the shower gel. They had a male Dove shower gel, but nothing for me. And the one, I was like, maybe I'll get the male, but I don't want to start smelling like Old Spice. So I'm like, maybe not. So I did not get it. But they had an Irish Spring. Do you remember Irish Spring? Do you remember Irish Spring? I remember Irish Spring. So, because you know, when I was before I got to the States, we used soap, regular soap. That's what we used. And then this one says Irish Spring. So I'm like, oh, 24-hour fresh. Okay, so, okay, let me see. I'm gonna try it. Ooh, well, it looks like Irish Spring. It smells like Irish Spring. So maybe I score. Yes, I like that. Okay, so no Dove. Irish Spring will do. So I'll be smelling fresh for 24 hours. We'll see. And then I was like, if that doesn't work, let me just get some soap. And they had some Dove soap. So I bought, this one says cocoa. So that's good, you know, cocoa bar, I guess. pH neutral. Oh, 3 bars. Oh, that's good. And I like, you know, even in my my guest bathroom, I don't like to put soap. People don't use soap anymore. Everybody wants a shower gel. It smells good. I mean, it's small. Okay, so that's a backup. So I think I did okay. So I will not be looking for Dove anymore because I can't find it anywhere. That's what you do. You adjust, right? So that was on my list. The other thing that was on my list is my Skittle. Let me tell you. Now, a chef is as good as her tools, right? And you spend a lot of money buying stuff. But remember, I'm in a different time of my life. I'm not collecting things. I'm trying to use the least amount of stuff to do what I need to do. When I first came to Panama, I think the next day I went to Super 99 store and I bought the skillet. It has, look at it, this thing is falling apart. That's why it was time for me to get another one. And the fact that it's scratching, and every time it scratches, that means whatever the material is in here is going to your food, so that's a no bueno. So I had to get rid of that. So I found one, 11-inch, and it's not super heavy. You know, they also have wok, and I'm not into Asian food that much, so I can always saute in here. And 11-inch, it says frying pan, but I don't fry anything, so call it saute pan. Non-stick and scratch resistant, eco-friendly, PFOA free. I have no idea what that is. Heats evenly, easy cleaning. So I like this. I like this. And that was like $19, so that wasn't bad, right? So I got me a new Skittle, look at that. It looks like it's got an indent in here. Oh, of course. It had to have something. This one, it's okay. It's just that it's flat. It's flat. So if you're cooking something, you put some oil, it runs to the side and it doesn't stay in the middle, so it doesn't cook evenly. So I didn't like that. So I'm gonna have to wash this. And I got a skillet. Yes. So this one's gonna have to go back in the trash. Oh boy. And I got me some Dawn. I was looking for Dawn. That's the largest size I could find. I'm pretty sure if I went to PriceSmart, I'd be able to find. But I like Dawn, right? And they have a spray. I'm like, who's spraying what? I don't know. I've never seen the spray when I was in the States, but I needed the few little bag thing. I bought that. And I bought like some sheets for the dryer. The bounce was super expensive. This is the thing here. If you want the name brand, you're gonna pay for it. Hola Maria, ¿cómo estás? The skillet looks nice. Yeah, no stainless steel pans in Panama. Yeah, I want to say yes, they have them, but I wasn't looking for stainless steel. Now I buy, well, I hope you're not the person who tells me don't use aluminum, right? They do have aluminum pan, but the heavy one that we use when we cook rice, But I'm sure they have stainless pans. Now, my stores for anything home is Conway. Conway is like Target. Mhm. And someone said they have the same owners or whatever. I don't know. Because if I'm looking for something for the house, that's usually where I go. And then they usually have like some clearance stuff in the front, not clearance, discounted. And a lot of times, I'll go and buy something. Like the other day, I bought this little thing because I was getting not enough space for all my spoons and stuff, and I still need a lot. And then the other day I bought, I think I showed you guys, for my party, I bought this to put my water bottle. This is such a nice basket, isn't it? And then I bought a set of these baskets. This is the smallest size, and the bigger one, I put all my wine bottle in there. And that worked pretty good. And just throw all the water bottles in here. Yes, that worked. So every time I'm in the area, I'll stop by, which is not a good thing because I always come back home with stuff. And then I got off the metro coming home, and I had a taste for mango. This is mango season, even though I'm not that crazy about the Panamanian mangoes, but I wanted some mango. So I bought $1 worth of mango. That's $1.05. So I'm gonna wash them up and then put them in there, and I love mangoes. I love mangoes, papayas, piñas, most fruits I love. Apples, pears, we have those in abundance here. And of course, avocado season, I love. The other thing that I don't see here a lot is sugar cane. I know I see them on TV in the interior, and they have a machine, they put them through to squeeze the juice, and they make that sugar, and they make some kind of candy with it. But I'm like, I don't know about that machine, and that thing comes out, I wouldn't trust it to just drink it like that. No bueno. Now you understand, when you're older, you have to be more careful. That's why when you go travel, you don't eat on the side of the road as an older woman. I see these kids that go, got food poisoning because you're eating whatever is on the side. You don't know how they've been cooked. You don't know the cleanliness, and you're not a local. You are not a local. The locals have built a resistance. Their immune system is ready. But that's why you don't go to Mexico and drink the water. So why do you think you can just eat on the side of the road? I don't. And I tell you, the last time I was sick in New York City, after I ate, it wasn't even eating out on the road. I got sick from a Chinese place with some fried chicken wings. I got sick as a dog. I was in the Caribbean one time, and I had them do a fresh coconut for me, but the machete had something, on it, and they cut off the coconut, and I don't know if it was his hands, give me the straw. I got home, boy, oh boy, I got sick. I got sick the day I was supposed to leave to come home. I stopped at a bank to relieve myself because I was in so much discomfort. And I was praying on that plane that I could make it. So from the Caribbean, I got to Miami, and then I went to the bathroom, and then I went home. I stayed on the couch for like 5 days. I felt like death warmed over. That's what I'm saying. Food poisoning can kill you. And I have a strong immune system, because if I didn't, I probably would have to go to the hospital or whatever. I didn't bleed or anything, but it was a diarrhea, and then it was like this thing. I'm sure it wasn't a virus, but it just, it zapped. You feel like you had the super bug, super flu. But I knew it was from getting that coconut on the side of the road. So now I'm like, no, I'll pass. I don't. I'm very cognizant of what I'm putting in my belly when I go when I travel. Oh, where are you, Lacey? So I bought these. These are she had 2 buckets, and then she knows me. I'm like, ¿cuántos por $1? She said Cinco, because there was a sign. And then I said, but pero son chiquitos, mommy, they're small. So she had another basket. She said, oh, okay, get 2 from that bushel and then 3 from the little one. So we got 5. But even outside of mango season, you're going to get mangoes, but they're not going to be from here, like avocado. They get them from Peru, Mexico, Colombia, and other places. Costa Rica, they get a lot of mangoes from Costa Rica, and they are good. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right. So I'm going to let you guys go. But I wanted to show you that I bought this little thing here. So I have a pouch with change and a pouch with 2 credit cards. And I put metro cards in here, even though this looks like more for the phone, right? I got 2 cards. And every time it gets to be like, every time you swipe it, you scan to get in, it tells you what your balance is. So if your balance is gonna be low, you know, to load it back up. And they have machines there. They have machines that says solo billetes. That means they only take bills. And then they'll have another machine that's gonna say billetes y moneda. Moneda is coins. And when they say coins, they mean the Panamanian Balboa, which is $1. Then they're gonna take quarters and stuff like that. The machines don't. I gave my nail tech some of my Balboas, so I don't have, I was gonna show you one, but I don't have one. So you can load up your you cannot load up with credit card. You have to have your money in hand. But at Outbook, they have a window you can go in there. I don't even know if they have credit cards there. You know, they'll charge it for you. So you can have your card and you say $10 or $15 and then they'll do it for you. I haven't seen anybody charge their cards with a credit card. But someone said that you can scan to get into the metro with the MasterCard. I have not tried it. If you don't have a metro card, I need to try it. I have not. I can't say. So what I do, I have that, what do you call that? This kind of bag. It's like a nice size bag like that. So I take this and I put it inside. This is around my neck. And then I put this inside my bag, like a shoulder bag. And that's how I've been traveling. So I feel maybe I have a better chance of getting robbed that way. Maryland store called LDL. Oh, that's where you bought the mangoes? Yeah. I absolutely love mango. Yes. I could eat a bushel sitting down. If they're good, nice, and juicy. So in 2 weeks, it's gonna be soccer fever. I need to get my, I need to get a shirt to show my support. They had a Panamanian movie. I think you guys saw. I said I went to the movies last week, Thursday, because Friday I was busy. Saturday, I had 3 things scheduled. Sunday, after I finish cooking, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go dressed to go anywhere. So I'm like, no. So I went Thursday. I didn't like it. It was supposed to be a comedy. You know, I felt bored. I took a couple of naps. I woke up and then it was over. I'm like, okay. First of all, I go to the 240 seance or whatever you want to call it, showing. And, you know, it's matinee. I paid $3.50 for my ticket with the discount, which is great because I remember movies in the States were like going close to $20. And then I got a popcorn. And I'm sitting there, they showed, you know, the previews, and then all of a sudden, Star Wars, with the little midget guy with the ears. And I'm like, okay, is that like a, you know, advertisement or whatever? And it kept going and going, and I'm like, I didn't want to see Star Wars. So after about 10 minutes, I walked out, and I went to the lady, and I'm like, they have the wrong movie playing there. And I showed her my ticket. She's like, oh, señora, lo siento mucho. Yeah, she's calling her boss. I'm like, I said, I've never had that happen to me. I'm sitting there to watch one movie and then something else. So I was saying, she's like, oh, what are we going to, I'm calling my boss. Everything is boss. You know, when you go to the store, there's a boss standing there watching them. Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it because I had a class at 6 o'clock. I have an appointment at 6. But anyway, so when I went in there, it was me and another gentleman the first time. So after I walked, 5 minutes ago, he walked out too. He's like, yeah, I know you're watching another movie. And then he left. And then 2 ladies came in. The whole theater were just 3 of us. But I took a couple of naps. I woke up and I'm like, I didn't like the story at all. I didn't think the acting was good. They said they ran out of money for the movie, and you know they were trying to get it out before the World Cup starts in 2 weeks. You know, so they're hyping it up. And I just said I didn't like it, but I'm not telling people not to go watch it because we're trying to support a Panamanian, I don't know, movie maker or whatever, but I didn't care for it. It was supposedly about 2 guys trying to get a visa. I don't even know where the World Cup is. Is it US or Mexico? I'm not even sure. But they have to get a visa to go wherever, and they got into all kinds of shenanigans, ended up in a jail. But you know, the movie did show some things about life in Panama, about that particular jail, because it was in the news the other day about some of the people are complaining in the heat, no AC, they're just uncomfortable, and I can't even imagine that, poor things. But so they showed some of the stuff there, and they showed the building, the name. I'm like, oh, that's where it is, right? And it's touched upon, you know, not just drug activity, but guns and stuff like that, which is something that is concerning us here in Panama. It's almost a lot more crime that we're seeing involving firearms. And you know, from where we come from, this is a no bueno. So I'm hoping they get ahead of it and, you know, just kind of do something, because nothing good comes out with so many people owning guns. And I just joined another Facebook group. It says Crime Watch or something for Panama, where they're going to post. And I'm not telling my ladies to get to that. But I want to be the one to look at what's going on and kind of let them know what they need to know, because there's no need to get everybody in a panic, right? Thank you for the hearts. Please give the thumbs up. Just see with that little thumb there, just click on it, click on it, click on it, click on it. So I feel like it did touch upon life in Panama a little bit. You got a glimpse, right? And showing beautiful Panama. And you're like, oh, I know that place. Oh, it's kind of nice. I think there was another movie maybe last year that was also shot in Panama. And I go watch because I want, not only am I curious, second, I want to sit in a Spanish speaking movie and see myself if I can follow the story. You know, it's good for me, practice for my ears, for my Spanish. And then I want to support the work of, you know, the locals. Absolutely, absolutely. So, and of course I can't take my sister. They're like, is it in English? Do you have subtitles? Some do, some don't. And in fact, someone told me that Alta Plaza, because you know we have lots of malls here. Listen, in Panama, malls are a thing. I even call it malling. On the weekend, everybody's out. Families with the kids, and you know, when I say families, I mean familia, the extended familia, okay? If they're gonna go to the mall, it's gonna be grandpa, grandma, 2 sets, all the uncles, aunties, primos, primas, nietos, everybody. So they're sitting there, they're eating, they're having ice cream, they're just walking. I call it malling. Whereas I remember when I was leaving, malls were dying out over there in the US. Oh, not here. So we have several beautiful malls here, and each mall has a theater. So we have two theater groups. We have Cinepolis and we have Cinemark. So depending on where the movie is playing, you need to figure out which mall you need to go to. So we have Multiplaza, which is a little bit the more high end. We have Soho Mall, also it's supposed to be high end, but it was like dying not too long. There was not much. I think now it's starting to get more stores, but the place is gorgeous, all solid stone, but usually it's empty. But I'm seeing more people. It's in downtown. So you have Soho, Multiplaza, Albrook, which is the largest mall in Latin America, 3 stories, and is it 3 or 2? I can't remember, but it goes on and on and on and curves around. I'm like, oh, but they have this little trolley that you could get on, and I keep thinking it's for kids, but no, I could get on, but I haven't gotten on because when I go there, I feel like I'm getting my steps. So I don't mind going, and because if I'm going to El Campeon, which is one other favorite store, it's like a mile and a half. And then you turn around if you go to the Marriott, and they have stores there too. Woo, it goes on and on and on. So you have Albrook, you have Alta Plaza, you have Metro Mall, you have El Dorado Mall, and they probably have other malls that I haven't, frequent yet. Of course, West Panama Oeste also has a mall. So malls are huge. I love going. I have one little place at Albrook Mall. I go up and I get me a cup of coffee, and it's like Don something. You get an empanada. It used to be $1, now it's $1.25. A cup of coffee for $1.25. Shh, you can beat that, right? Because if you go anywhere else, you're paying $3-4 for a cappuccino for coffee, and you say you want it black. And you say, no, con leche. So it comes out as a cappuccino, frothed, right? So I sit there sometimes. It's on the 2nd level, I believe. It's the 2nd or 3rd, I'm not sure. But I just sit there and watch the world go by and that's my thing. Or I go, same in Colombia, they make it an event. Yes, I call it malling because I'm like, oh yeah. And I just love that. I love the fact that they like to hang out. And then they keep grandma in the corner. Grandma and grandpa are there, and they love on their grandbabies. It's good. It's good. La familia is very strong here. So now I've learned to not be envious, but to just enjoy it, watching them, and be happy for them. So it's one thing to say, oh, they have something I don't have. Well, so you grown, get over yourself. So I'm just happy when I see them. And this is the thing that we are grateful for in Panama, is that no mass shooting, no school shooting, we don't have any of that stuff. So that's why our stress level is so down. People walk in, you go to the airport, you're trying to get your luggage, and there you have Pollera dancers, and then we have the Etnia Negra, and they're just doing it. You get the Diablos, The other day they had food for Etnia Negra. People come to the airport trying to get their luggage, and they look over there. There is music, there is dancing, and then they're sampling food. They're giving you food to. That's special about Panama. Panama is special. Yes. Is it perfect? No. But it is a special place. And people come here and they tell you, they get to the airport and then they feel like the weight is, the stress is leaving their bodies. And I'm not the only one. I didn't feel that at the airport. I told you my story about being on the boat, in the boat, where I had that feeling of well-being. It wasn't like I felt distressed, but it was this connection to the place, right? Okay, keep going up, keep hitting that like button, guys. But it is a special place that you just get there. And then we have a little man. He's from Cologne. When I took the ladies on that trip, he came on our bus and serenaded us. Hopefully you saw that clip. But he's usually at the airport too, just with a, what do they call it? What does he have? It's not a guitar. It's, what do you call that? ukulele or whatever like that. Banjo. Yeah, he had a banjo. They call him the banjo player. And you know what he does? He'll say, "What's your name?" And you tell him your name, and he makes a song with your name in it. That's the cutest thing. And you know, everybody gives him a little change or whatever. So he's making a living like that. But he is the face when you walk to the airport or you go to Cologne and you're going to see him. So it's kind of nice, right? That's culture. That's culture. So, yeah, malling is a big thing here in Panama. And I have my stores that I go to. There are some I haven't been to. I'm kind of middle of the road. I don't buy clothing per se because I don't go anywhere really. But you know, El Campeon is a place if I'm looking usually for like this skirt. I bought this at Conway. And I like these long skirts because you can breathe in them. And but when you know it's raining or whatever, you kind of watch because otherwise, sometimes one day my skirt got caught because I was getting off the bus and it started migrating down. But that's no bueno. And I always have my tennis shoes when I work out, okay? Because it's like in this weather, this is not the place for you to be, you know, showing your pretty little toes. Not in the rainy season. And even outside of the rainy season, you don't know what you're gonna step on. Usually there is. Thank you for the thumbs up, ladies and gents. So you don't know, you know, they have broken glass and you've heard about Panama sidewalks. I don't know what they are, but they're not sidewalks, okay? They're rough and uneven, and sometimes they have like a metal things that just juts up. So it's not a hole, but you could hit your foot and then lose your footing. That's no bueno. So that's why when you are in Panama City, you make sure you're watching where you're stepping. This is not the time for you to be taking shots and In fact, they grabbed this girl's brand new iPhone, whatever, I don't know what number they're at now, because she was showing him. This guy came on a bicycle and shoot. Now, this is not something I had known as being a thing. I know it happens in Colombia and Cartagena, or maybe Medellin. In Brazil, I know they even go inside the bus or your car to grab your phone. That's what I read. It wasn't a thing here. I mean, she's the only one I know whose phone had been grabbed. But then other people say, the locals tell us to put our phone away. You know, if I am in the metro, I could be looking at something or on the bus. But if I'm walking, I don't have my phone in my hand. My phone is deep in my bag somewhere. And I don't even put it up here. It's inside the bag. So if you grab the bag, yeah, you're gonna get my phone. But this, if you get the bag, this is here, so they might rip it. If somebody wants to get something from you, trust me, they don't have any consideration. So I think this is the thing that's starting to concern some people in Panama. And when somebody, you know, and of course somebody's always in the comment, oh, well, if anybody told you Panama was crime-free, you know, that's your business if you believe that. You know, sometimes I don't even get into a verbal spat with people. You want to voice your ugliness and stuff, okay, right? But I'm saying from me being here 3.5 years, from whenever I first got here, but you know, it could have been that honeymoon effect, that bright and shiny, everything is beautiful, smells good, looks good, you're kind of in la la land, right? So you really don't get a sense of the reality. And the honeymoon phase where you're so grateful to be here, you're so happy. You know, where was I today? I went to Discovery Center, you know, I was at the locals, I'm on the bus and all that. And then I said, it was starting to sprinkle. I opened my umbrella and they have multiple buses that come through. I said, okay, I'm trying to decide because I had 2 bags I was carrying. I'm saying, I want to see if I'm going to go to Albrook because there was this place I wanted to try to get my nails done. I said, if the Albrook bus comes first, I'm going to get the nails done. And that was the Albrook. So I did, and I was looking at that little place on the second level. I said, okay, next time I'm going to try that. And then you should see families, throngs of people. But the people coming to Panama, it's not just African Americans, a lot of Jamaicans are coming here too. And you know, when they're talking, I can hear the accent. But a lot of Jamaicans have familial relationships through the canal, right? Because if they had a grandparent who worked in the canal zone or who worked for the canal, then it makes it easier for them to get citizenship if they can prove the relationship by finding records and birth certificates and stuff. So the other day I saw a group said they were from Barbados or St. Thomas. So it's not just people from the American continent, you know, like just America and Canada coming here. We have people from the Caribbean coming here too. And it's like, you know, and then when you are walking through Albrook Mall and you can say, oh, here's another sister, and then they're usually not one of them. It's like families. That's the phenomenon we are seeing here in Panama. So it's not just us old folks coming to retire in Panama. Lots of younger families coming to Panama. And I was telling you that this couple got reported to the labor board. I think they called themselves the Smiths, I think. I didn't watch the rest of it to see what happened because they had to go to court last week or the week before. So I don't know. But people here, the locals, they know their rights. And from what I heard, I don't have any personal knowledge, is if you get into a spat with a local and you're going to go to court or whatever, you don't have a high chance of winning. Let's put it that way, okay? So that's why you try to do things on the up and up. Don't cut corners. And that's why I'm not hiring housekeepers, because these people, this is like an employment relationship. Remember, I was a business owner. I understand. If you have an independent contractor and you have things in writing and you tell them you are responsible for your taxes, I'm not paying Social Security, it's very well detailed, then you're probably good. Even then, this may not be the law of the land. That's why before you do that, I always tell people, ask your attorney. And your attorney is not just to give you your residency card. Your attorney is your person you go to when you have a legal question. Don't come to a new country and think in your mind that whatever the way things used to work where you came from, do not assume that, sis. You're setting yourself up. So if I don't have a contract with someone to do work for me, I'm not doing business with you. I am not. If it's not clear, because the same people that you think you are helping by giving them some money under the table, they're the one that's going to go to court and report you. Listen, this girl is Panamanian, she's American. She went back to Brooklyn and she will tell you. She herself had a business and got burned. She said, do not start a business in Panama. And she's Panamanian. You think I'm going to listen to her? Of course I'm going to listen to her. I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules. Her parents are here. They stole from her. They're going to steal from you too. There is a certain expat person in a certain area of this country who was going to open an assisted living. Oh, lots of expat. Oh my God, that would be great. We need that. We need that. Well, I said the same thing. The other day, somebody was talking to me saying she trusted a local to do stuff for her while she was remodeling, building, or whatever she was doing. Ran away with her money. So now she's destitute with nothing. Listen. That's why people say, oh, Miss Maggie, don't you want to open a restaurant? No. No. Number one, I don't want to work that hard anymore. Number two, I don't know the rules. Number three, you have to have a partner. And I don't do well with partners. Partnerships most often don't work. So you have to partner with a local, and they have to have 51% of your business. That's a no bueno for me. Dead on arrival. No, not doing it. Now, if you're looking for somebody to invest in a business, I might consider it. But for me to do the day-to-day work of employing people, people are the same everywhere. The same stuff I dealt with at that restaurant where they call off after they partied or just were drugged up and left me in that restaurant to be the cook, the hostess, the busser, the dishwasher. You think I was gonna? No, no bueno, not doing it. No bueno, not doing it. So anything I want to do, if I'm thinking business related, I'm doing digital products. I'm doing, maybe I'll do merch. Because I'm looking at merch, things that are SWRA related. Now that we have a logo, then we can put on our t-shirts and caps and stuff like that. Yeah. But to be doing work day in and day out, having people on payroll, paying Social Security, they're stealing from you, they don't help hold up your standard, when I do something, I know this is my effort. This is what I am putting out there. My product is me, right? But when you trust someone to do that for you, most of the time it doesn't work. They don't have the same passion, and some of them just plain want to sabotage you. You know that, right? Because that little seed of jealousy, I talk about it all the time, it's in every single one of us. It's in every single one of us. People are not happy to see you succeed. People are not happy to see you doing something well. They feel like, who does she think she is? I don't think I'm anything. I'm keeping my nose to the ground. I'm doing something, but they're still not happy. It's like it should have been them. But do it. Go ahead and do it too, sis. You can. No one is holding you back. Do it. People talk about SWRA. Oh, too many rules. I'm like, start your own group. You can do that too. It's still a free world. Last I heard, right? Anyway, so, with the increased news of the other day, they said the police cracked down a place they were getting set up to do methamphetamine, like a lab or something. They busted it, but who knows? They don't have another one springing somewhere else, right? Because we are so close to everything, Colombia, Mexico, and we have the ocean on both sides, and boats come in, planes come in, we have cargo come in. Listen, these people are busy. So when they do seizures here, they get a lot of packages of drugs that were trying to come through to Panama, a lot. And what we know is that they're not catching every single one of them. We know that. If somebody tells you they did, that's not right. So it's a problem. So we don't want to, put blinders on. We need to be aware. And then some people say, oh yeah, you're just spreading panic and stuff. No. The reality is the reality. You don't make things up just because you're aware of what's going on. I'm not saying let's pack up and go, but you got to be aware. That's why I've changed my route. I'm not in the street late at night. I've just adjusted, which is what you do. You adjust to the situation. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's nothing going on. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. But life is life. Poverty. What do they call it? In fact, I was looking at it with my student the other day. Inequity. That is huge here in Panama. The haves and the haves not. I was talking to a lady, I think she's from somewhere in Europe. She said, I've traveled a lot places, but she said the gap is really wide here in Panama, and it is. It is. Some people live really very well, and then some people are struggling. And when people struggle, they're more tempted to do what they need to do. I mean, the human trafficking is a big issue here. Little girls, every so often, not every so often, pretty much every week, they're putting a picture of a little girl that disappeared, got snatched. They found one a couple of months back who had disappeared. They didn't know where she was. Police didn't know where she was. They found her in Guatemala somewhere. They're trafficking these kids. Between the drugs, the human trafficking, and the police, they're busy here. They're busy all the time, busting. And it used to be to the boss. Make sure you have risk protection from scammers. What is risk protection? Oh yeah, the scamming. In fact, last week, there was a new scam that this bank warned everybody that somebody would send you a message and say, oh, I accidentally sent, we have an app from a bank called Yappy. Oh, I accidentally sent you a payment in error. Please do a refund. And it's like, ding, ding, ding. Do not go into your account and try to do a refund to somebody you don't know. Have I been scammed? I mean, I was pickpocketed. Yes. Broad daylight. It was about 12:30 in the afternoon. He just took my wallet, took it, and started swiping. Ooh, he swiped like 6,000. But scamming, even the police in the news, they're telling you, people calling. See, people call me sometimes. I know my sisters, I know people that I know. If I see a number come on my phone that I don't recognize, I do not answer. I do not answer. So they're not going to get me on the phone, because a couple of times, I would answer and they say, oh, it's so-and-so from Massmobile, which is the phone company. Well, I don't know if you're really from Massmobile and there's nothing you're going to tell me. I'm like, okay. And I just hang up. I do not talk to people. I don't. So they're not going to get me on the phone. But with your account, and even I tell people, as much as I go to the mall, I never get into my bank account through a public Wi-Fi. Everybody tells you that. And about what's the other thing that people use to ensure that they're in the state, the VPN, right? You cannot be too careful here. Some scamming that go on here in Panama is maybe like somebody trying to show you an apartment to rent and saying, oh, I have 5 I want to show you today, but you're going to have to pay me $200. That's a scam, because they're not supposed to charge you to show you apartments here, even though they do charge in Africa. I was charged, well, they tried to say, oh, every unit that I shows you is $50. I'm like, what a kind of a nice side hustle for you. As a real estate person, at every house, you know how many houses I see before I buy something? Or when I was trying to get my house in 2013, I must have seen 50 homes. If he was going to charge me, you didn't have to work. So some people are starting to do that here. So it's like, are they supposed to charge you that much? No. Okay. Some attorneys charging you a lot of money. I'm not calling it scamming, because you're getting their services. You can say yeah or nay. If they said, this sister said the other day, I was just quoted $2,400, and people chimed in, oh, that's high, that's high. That's why you ask around, right? When you get to the airport, there is this scamming. I don't know if it's scamming. They want to overcharge you to take you to your hotel. And I'm like, put your Uber app in and book yourself an Uber. You don't have to worry about it, right? So just protect yourself and don't give your personal information to people. Can you send me this? People up sending on social media, sending you a link. The thing they say, oh, share it with 10 other people. I never, ever do those chain emails and stuff. And I'm like, delete, delete, delete. And of course, the guy is saying, well, hey, how are you? I'm like, who are you? I don't know you. Delete, delete, delete. Don't talk to me. No. So when somebody said, oh, I'm so glad you got into my DM. I'm so glad I answered. Now we're married. Well, happy for you, sis. This sis here is not trying to get hit, so I'm good. So don't talk to me. This guy said the other day, oh, are you still single? Yes. Oh, I want to know when we're going to have coffee. I don't do coffee either. I go to the coffee shop by myself, me, myself, and I. Too old. Been there, done that. But you know, I told that story. When I was first divorced, I was signed up for all these, how do they call them? Match.com, Plenty of Fish, or whatever. But do they show novelas? Oh yes, I can really get into them and listen to the Spanish. I watch my novelas. In fact, there are 2 of them I like right now I'm watching. I like the one from Turkey. I like those Turkish ones. Except sometimes the way they treat the women, I get a little hot under the collar and I have to kind of stay away for a little bit. Yeah. And some of the Asians too, not on TV, but on my phone. Slapping people over the, I don't do that. But yes, we got plenty of novelas. And I watch mostly TVN channel 2, but they have other channels that show a lot of Mexican novelas. I don't know, I see novelas from Colombia, but Mexico has a lot of them. And Turkey, they show a lot of things from Turkey here, which is weird. I'm like, this is Panama. When did Turkey get into it? Yes, they do. I love my novelas. I absolutely love them. And in fact, right now I'm watching one, and the lady who is one of the main characters, she's probably younger than I, but she's badass. You know, she's strong and very unlike what they used to show, where the woman is subservient, like in the Asian cultures, and the dad has power over her, tell her what to do, kick her out upside the head. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't watch it. I'm getting mad at myself at the TV. What's wrong with that? Like, no bueno. Oh my gosh. Yes. Now I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, so you know I'm rattling and just running my mouth here. We are good. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you my saga with the shower gel. But I think I'm good. I'm going to be good for a while with Irish Spring. And I have Dove, so I'm good. And the other day, I bought 2 big bottles of a shampoo and conditioner set. That said, they have rosemary in it. And you know, I love rosemary. Go ahead and do the thumbs up for me. Please, por favor. Click the thumbs up button. And 2 of them, like this big. And I think the set was like $6. And I'm like, oh, that's a good deal, right? And I tried it the other day. It's not bad. It's not bad. Because, you know, with our hair texture, somebody said she found, what's the brand? Cantu. She said she found Cantu in one store. But it's not a brand that I used to use. But, you know, our hair is different. But I make rosemary oil for my hair myself. So I love rosemary. So I tried it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You just have to moisture a lot here. Because, you know, I don't do locks, and I don't braid anymore. It just took too much time. No, I do the poof, or I put my hair in, you know, my hair used to be really short. Now I can do a little ponytail, and I could use some hair and then make a twirl or something, and then give myself a little height. But I don't fuss over my hair anymore. I think the thing I buy for my hair is like the gel to just hold it up, and that's what I buy. But no, I don't. So we are good. Today is Monday. I don't have class, so I'm going to be working on my computer. I did my class prep for tomorrow, so I'll do for the rest of the week so I can feel good, and then I'll work on my cookbook. I need to do that. Hit the like button, guys, please, por favor. Does anybody have any question? Do you shop at the Black-owned hair store? I've been in it. I haven't bought anything there. You mean, what do we call it? Afro Queen, right? When it first opened up, because that is a route that I take all the time when I'm going to San Felipe. So I remember, this is so hot. I remember I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. So I went in, and I'm like, oh. And then he said he's from Atlanta. It was just getting started, and I was so excited to see a brother, coming in here, because you don't see a lot of people doing businesses here. Oh, I'm not aware of it, right? Charlotte Van Horn, everybody knows, she does the touring, she's doing a lot more stuff, and she's just kicking butts, right? But she's married to a Panamanian, been coming here for decades, so she knows a lot more about the business climate and all that. So when I saw the guy doing that, with the sign and everything, he had to do everything. And there is Jeff also at Daiquiri 23, who's a brother who owns I think it's a sports bar. So people are doing things. And when I first got here, I had ideas for businesses. But you know what? The longer I'm here and I see these expats, and I was like, it's like I'm bringing the U.S. here, having to deal with the same thing, with the same people, the same issues. And I said, I'm just not up to it. So I don't want to hire people, and so that is a no-no for me. But he seems to be doing well. People go there, get braids, get their hair done. He hires. He has some locals he's hired. He's got a lot of products. What I've heard is that his stuff is a bit pricey, but because I don't do anything for my hair anymore, maybe if I needed a piece of hair for something, I could go in there, but no, I have not bought anything there. But the other day we were coming from Mercado with a couple of ladies and they wanted to go in there. They did, and somebody bought something, I don't know, but yeah. Very well known now. It didn't need me. After I saw the store the first time, you came out to talk to me. I guess he wanted me to promote it on the channel, which I did. So now he's well entrenched here. Now people have found people to do their braids. People have found people to twist their locks. And one sister says she went there to Afro Queen to get her locks and she wasn't happy, so she went to that lady is in Arahan, which is in West Panama Oeste. So you kind of have to travel to her. But I don't have locks, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm not interested at all in having all that. Because I just like to just spray, wash, and put it in a bun or something and keep it moving. I just do not want to fuss with my hair anymore. I remember when I used to have a standing appointment, 9 a.m. on Friday morning to get my hair washed and set, go under the dryer. And then I'm thinking, what's that, $40, $45 multiplied by so many? That's a lot of money I wasted. Yeah. I do the opposite. I cry when I have to return back to the U.S. after having a wonderful visit. You're not the only one, sis. People go there because they have to do business. After about a couple of days seeing their family, they're like, they're ready to come back. They are. I mean, you walk in there and the energy hits you. It's just not the same. It's not. Hola, Mayberry. Yeah, we talk about safety. Panama is safe, but we are seeing an uptick in, and I'm not saying it, the news media is saying it. The people on the street are saying they don't feel very safe because robberies, assault, and stuff like that. Yeah. And drug-related violence. People looking for someone and just finding them and shooting them down. Yeah, that happens. That happens. And it's not just here. It happens in Ecuador. In fact, I read that Most of the drugs coming through Panama to go to the US or to Europe come from Ecuador. They're all in it. It's about the money, the love of money. The Bible didn't lie when it said the love of money is the root of all evil. And when it comes to drugs, if the demand wasn't there wouldn't be so much of it. But people still want the junk. And as long as somebody's willing to pay for it, they're going to keep producing it. And it's going to change and morph and I think they were talking about another, is it a pink cocaine or something? All kinds of stuff. Me, I am just I don't know anything about those things, so I don't know. When I was on those, the dollar is not buying as much anymore. I heard that. When I was on all those platforms to try to find, I don't know what I was looking for, a partner or somebody, I don't know what I was looking for, okay? Because I had just gotten divorced, and I guess the thought was that, oh yeah, I can get back into a relationship. But when I started going on a few dates and I look at the same names on every single platform, and these guys were really, no, it's like, and now, sisters, with all these shooting, all these sisters, young sisters being killed, I'm telling you all, leave those people alone. There was another nursing student. I'm a nurse. She was in school, and her boyfriend shut her down in Tallahassee at Florida State. I'm sure you saw that. This other woman who was married found out her husband was gay. He shot her 15 times. Listen. It's okay to be single. I'm telling you all, leave those people alone, because you don't know that you don't know. They change on you. And why is it that they want to take our life? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why somebody that you love, you say you love, and what do they say? They don't want you anymore? Or why do you have to take their life? It's mind-boggling. And every time I see it, I'm thinking, this is somebody's child. This is someone's child. Woo! That's why I can't watch these things too much. They just do something to me. Never been on any of those platforms. Too scared. Good for you, sis. You're not missing anything. I think I was going to tell you something about one of them. Well, there's the one who said he'd been in jail. I said, how many times? He said 7 times. I'm like, oh, 7 times? You didn't learn the lesson with the first one? And I said, what were you in for? He said, bank robberies. 7 times? Girl, I got out of there so fast, I'm going to choke on my coffee. And after a while, I said, Maggie, you leave these people alone. And I've left them alone. And right now, it's like, oh, no way, Jose. No. I'm good. Whew. No bueno. A lot of them go to Cologne. What goes to Cologne? Oh, what? I'm not sure I understand. Who are you referring to, Maria? Yes. Yeah. No, talk about scamming. I had a guy I was talking to, never met, you know how they take all these little grannies' retirement by saying, wire me some money, I need this, I need that. This guy supposedly was in California somewhere. He probably was in some dark house somewhere, and I'm not going to say the name because it seemed like I'm picking on that country. But, I mean, I'm going to work. He's saying, how are you, honey? We moved from Maggie to honey. It's like, oh, okay, the plot thickens. Oh, honey, it took you so long to get to work. How you doing? Yeah, we're talking. I don't think we ever did like a video call. I don't think we did that. So one day he said he was going on a trip. He was some kind of, I think he was like, he said he was a presenter or something. He's going on a trip to China. I'm like, oh, well, good. Oh, I'm boarding now. Blah, blah, blah. Keep me updated. Great, it's just getting tight. And then while he was supposedly in China, so I'm thinking, you're going from California to China, the ching-ching must be good. So he said to me, oh, I'm in conference and my daughter is in, they always have a daughter. Remember the one that's in Baghdad, always had a 10-year-old daughter, and I'm like, how old are you? You have a 10-year-old? Okay. Ding ding ding. My daughter is in college in somewhere in Canada, and she needs some money for whatever. And then this person said, "Oh, Miss Maggie, my father said you were going to help me." And I'm like, "Oh, he did, didn't he? Oh, what did I don't know what he told me." And I'm like, "You bought a ticket to go to China?" And he's showing he's staying at this hotel. You paying for the hotel, and you want me to wire some money to your daughter? I'm like, "Do you see stupid written on my forehead?" And I said to the little girl, "Okay, give me your account and I'll consider making a bank transfer." She's like, "Oh, no. I'm going to go at the internet cafe." Because I'm like, you know what? No, I said I wasn't born yesterday. This one is not going to work on me. Goodbye. Don't talk to me again. And that was it. I got like a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm like, these guys are out there to get our money. And it was a no bueno. I was like, nope, I'm done. And then they were on the same platform, the same one. And then you had the one to kind of look a little presentable. We don't date black women. I'm like, okay, see ya. I'm too old. Nope. Yep. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. So I think I'm good. I don't think I'm going to be talking to you again for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, I'm going to interview a girl about one of my sisters. She brought her 2 dogs here, and I have one of my, I don't want to say customers, but she was stressing over bringing her pets to Panama. So I'm going to interview her and see how she did it. And then SWRA buttons. Okay. Oh, let me tell you what I was thinking in terms of merch. I found, well, now I have to find a company. I have a couple of companies I'm looking at. But everybody's doing t-shirts and mugs. I'm not into mugs. If I see one more mug, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. No, I don't do that. But I was thinking, I need to find out what I found are a couple of companies here that are doing some things that I think some of my sisters might like. But I need to poll you guys, like you, Auntie. You just said buttons. I don't think I had button on my list. But I'm going to, and the thing is, I don't want to say it out loud here because somebody might get my ideas. And we're not doing that. But besides t-shirt, you could do caps, right? And the caps I'm thinking are the one with the wider brim, but that could shield you from the sun, right? That would be not just a cap like that. Backpack, bags, you can do a lot of things. But again, I'm not going to give all my secrets here because this is like for the universe. And I don't want them to get my ideas. No quiero. So I do have ideas. So the next thing that we have the logo is getting a simple website built. That's where we're going to have our newsletters. We're going to have our meetings posted there so that if somebody's coming into town, they can know what's going on. Some of our policies, because some people don't know how SWRA works, so that's going to be up there for them to see. People think because they're talking to me online, and then when they here on vacation to do a scouting, that means they're already a member. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So I need to clarify that for folks. So it's going to be a good medium for written communication, right? So we're going to work on that. And once we have the website going, the next step is to register, trademark the name SWRA, Single Women Pioneering Abroad. So these were all goals for 2026, 23, 26. So I got to make sure I accomplish all those. The cookbook, it's going to take a while because I have to cook the thing, get the picture taken, doing the recipe. And then I think there's somebody I found that reviews and tells you how to structure the book. So it, for ease, because, when you're trying to do something, you want to get an expert advice, right, on how to do it the right way. So that's that. And it's almost half the year, so it's not like we have a lot of time left. And of course, the Friends of SWRA, we are considering that because, like my sisters who come to my parties, everybody say, "Oh, you a member?" She's like, "Well, ask Maggie," because she's married. And I'm like, "You married? This is for single women." And this is a joke. She's like, I said, "Well, you have a husband," right? Anyway, so all in fun. We have fun when we come with the ladies on Fridays. So we do every other month. So the last Friday of July is going to be our next one. And I think it's starting to morph into like a trivia type of event. I cook and I enjoy the food, and then we learn. We've been learning about Panama in the last couple. And then the sister right now is in Morocco, and she wants to do some trivia about Morocco. I mean, I don't have Morocco on my list to visit, but I like to learn about different countries and cultures. I'm very curious about that. My next big trip is going to be my Asian trip. That's probably going to take me weeks, if not months, and just hit the different Asian countries. It's going to be like a spring because I don't travel during rainy season and hurricane season. No. So I might leave like in January and come back in March, maybe. So I don't know if we're going to do it next year or 2028 if God gives me breath and keeps me. Because you know what? If you hear that Maggie has passed the next day, just say, you know what? She lived a full life. No regrets. None whatsoever. Okay? So I love you guys. Thank you for hanging with me. If you have any questions, just let me know. Yes. All right. Au revoir. So I think these are the mangoes I'm going to go this afternoon. Like I said, I haven't eaten, but I had a smoothie, so that should replace my meal, and that was good. Okay. Au revoir. Bye. Good afternoon. Good evening.